JD's lawyers absolutely wreck AH, and they do it in the one place that she cannot abide, right out there in the mainstream media. You and I, we're going to look at this today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So hey there, by the way, let's get started.
I'm here with Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chu, sitting down for their first interview since the blockbuster verdict that Depp was defamed by ex-wife Amber Heard. Welcome to you both. Camille, let me begin with you. I think the verdict surprised a lot of legal experts. They thought it was a very uphill fight from the beginning for you all. What was the key to victory?
I think the key to victory was focusing on the facts and the evidence, and Johnny's opportunity to speak the truth for the first time. It was 6 years in the making, and I think he was able to connect with the jury and the general public and tell what really happened in this relationship.
I think that's been a key here. You know, in 2016, she comes out with 3 accusations against him. 3. By the end of 2016, though, she's made that 7 accusations. They go back to 2014. Then in 2020, she furthers the timeline. It goes from not 2014, but 2013. So she's added a year. You have it ballooned to 14 accusations, plus you have 1 accusation of SA. By the time you get to 2022, there are countless accusations. So we have no idea how many accusations she would stop with. You have at least 4 accusations of SA and the timeline all the way back to 2012. When you look at that, what she's saying versus what JD says, his stuff on paper has remained consistent. He hasn't gone after her again and again, and she's tried to ruin him. Just saying that right there wrecks her, because when people pay attention to what she says, her own words, which they'll bring up, it destroyed her and then some.
He wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict. What was his reaction when you told him?
He was over the moon. It was like the weight of the world had been taken off his shoulders, and I feel that finally, after 6 years, he's gotten his life back.
He also went on.
That's actually what I've heard, too. I'm going to say from sources surrounding him that finally, after all of this time, he can smile, he can breathe. Because like Ben Chu just said, the weight of the world is off his shoulders. Finally, for the first time, you don't have all of this crushing. I mean, you can't even imagine how this would be. None of us can imagine how it would be to be at the top of everything and then have somebody come in, somebody that you cared about, and sweep it all away. It's insane.
On TikTok yesterday, thanking his supporters on social media. What role did social media play in this verdict?
My view is that social media played no role whatsoever. This was a decision made by the jury on the evidence presented by both sides, and as Camille said, it was overwhelmingly in Mr. Depp's favor.
Social media did not play a role in the courtroom. There are 2 fights that are going on. You have the court and the court of social media. The court of social media was impacted by the courtroom. You also have people that impact the court of social media, but it going the other way, not so much. The only people that believe that would be Elaine and AH, because they didn't get their way.
Ms. Heard's lawyers put out a statement yesterday saying the verdict was a setback for women's rights, and they went on to say that it's unseemly.
Look at this right here. This is a quote that they put out. It is as unseemly as it is unprofessional. The JD's legal team have chosen to do a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. What's next? A movie deal and merchandising? I'll tell you, there is a movie deal. I saw it before all of this. And guess who they were casting as the aggrieved party? They were casting her. She has talked to the media 1,000,000 times over about this. She has thrown him under the bus. He waited until he won. Then his people are going out. So really, who's the monster here?
And unprofessional for you all to be, quote, taking a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. How do you respond to that?
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny, and the verdict speaks for itself.
How about
but see, it threatens their control of a narrative. See, Me Too isn't Men Too. So they're going to bring up Me Too here. They say it sets back Me Too. And remember this. Remember, JD is saying that he was a survivor of DV. How does a survivor getting justice in the courtroom set back Me Too, unless you're saying that Me Too does not represent men?
The broader criticism, though, it's not just from Heard's teams. Victims advocates have argued that the verdict is going to have a chilling effect on domestic violence victims, and it's a blow to the Me Too movement.
I think our response to that is we encourage any victim to come forward. Domestic violence doesn't have a gender.
So you
That is exactly it. Exactly. Domestic violence does not have a gender, but man, they are intent on maintaining some kind of status quo, some kind of talking point saying that it does.
you don't see this as a setback to the movement in any way, shape, or form?
We do not. We believe that the verdict speaks for itself. The facts are what they were. The jury made a unanimous decision based on those facts.
Wait, during your cross-examination, what was your impression of Ms. Heard's impression on the jury?
I like this. Watch Camille. Watch her try to think about how exactly do I say this. This is hilarious. Just her reaction here. It is so telling about her. I think that it is wreckage and then some. Look at this.
I think that her impression on the jury was what it was. I think something that I focused on and we focused on in that cross-examination was using her words against her. And it was very important for us to, every question that was asked was tied to something she had said previously. And I think the jury got to see and the world got to see and hear from Ms. Heard in that relationship on every single topic.
And George, I think there was a real contrast. Johnny took ownership of a lot of things, and it seemed at times, and perhaps it came through to the jury, that she had an answer for everything, and she wasn't taking accountability for anything. And I think that
That's the truth. That's what people in the public, that's what everyone relates. Him, does he have substance issues? Oh, yeah. Does he have issues in life? Oh, yeah. But does that make you some type of monster? No. And you know what? Another thing that people don't understand is that all the text messages that were shown, that's the entirety of his text messages, not just some that he got to turn over a few snippets here and there. The team that represented him in the UK turned over 10 years of text messages to her team. That there was not one word admitting anything, but hey, facts, right?
made a difference.
Heard's lawyers say she plans to appeal the verdict. She doesn't have the money to pay for the judgment, and you all have said that the goal is not to impoverish Ms. Heard. Is it possible where we could see a settlement where she forgoes the appeal in return for Mr. Depp waiving any monetary damages?
Well, George, we obviously can't disclose attorney-client communications, but as Mr. Depp testified, and as we both made clear in our respective closings, this was never about money for Mr. Depp. So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
So you're not disclosing it?
Yeah, but here's the thing, too. I mean, if she's going to go on the war path and she's going to go after his name, she's going to continue attacking him, but she doesn't feel that monetary dig, how exactly do you stop it? I mean, do you think that she's going to agree to an NDA and actually stick to it? She violated the one from the divorce. I mean, what's she going to do with this one?
Any privileges, but it sounds like that's something that could be on the table, but it's up to Ms. Heard.
Again, we have to be careful what we say, but this was about Mr. Depp's reputation. That was what it was about for him.
Your life has changed a lot in the last several weeks. You got made partner this week. Congratulations.
Thank you very
both
much.
of you.
Congrats to her, by the way. You notice all of his team, everyone around him, himself, they actually get win after win. What is she doing? She's disappearing from the public eye.
You've also become something of social media stars. How has it changed? What does it feel like?
It's been surreal, and if I'm being honest, a bit overwhelming. But if I can be an inspiration to young women that want to go to law school and study and work hard, then it was all worth it.
You made the choice to go to Virginia for.
I think that's a positive, too, that you do not see coming from that other side. You know, the other side is focused on me. What did you see there? Well, you know, if I can make a positive impact on other women's lives, if I can encourage them to stay in school, I can encourage them to go for law degrees, it's all worth it. Interesting, right?
For this trial, how much of a difference did that make?
I think Virginia was a good venue for some legal and other reasons, and it has a fabulous court system, tremendous judges and fair juries, and I think the evidence was listened to carefully on both sides by the jury, and again, it came overwhelmingly in Johnny's favor.
Ms. Heard.
That's what she was afraid of. She was terrified of the idea that they would have this play out here. She tried to get it moved to California. That got shot down. But she was thinking that if I could get it to California, I could have it thrown out. Why? Because a man dares to speak up on his own behalf.
Did win on one count of defamation. Will you be appealing that?
Again, I think it's premature to say, but if you look at the context of the verdict, and it was a total win for Johnny.
Thank you both.
That's exactly it, too. You know, you have all of these people that want to spin this. They want to say, well, she won, too. Yeah, there were punitive damages against her. They were punishment for what she did. They found that she had committed actual malice. She tried to destroy the man's life.